Hey guys, welcome to another exciting episode of your favorite talk show into the unexplained, the paranormal, the strange, the rude, the hilarious, the inability to enunciate our words coherently. Vanishing Gates. I'm your host Jay, and this is our 81st episode, I believe, if you don't count all the other ones we erased. But tis. Alright, so what I'm doing tonight is starting off on I know it's an off night, guys. I'm trying to get more shows up. Hey, Bo and Chad, how are you? I'm trying to get more shows going throughout the week, off and on, just more sporadically for fun, and to get more content for you, our vanishers, the folks that out there that make this show worth doing. This is part of a new series on the show that I'm doing, and it's going to be sporadic, but it's going to be, I want it to be like a featured thing. And this is going to be called Interview with a Ghost Hunter. And this is our first episode. Now, before we get into that, I do want to mention, next week, I'm going to be in Manteca, California for a few days with nothing to do in the evenings. So if you guys are in Manteca, Stockton, Lodi, if you're in the Central Valley, and you guys want to hang out and you have good ghost stories, maybe want to be a guest on a podcast or even a live stream, if you have a good haunted location you think I should check out, hit me up. I'm going to have some free time for probably 3 or 4 days. So get a hold of me and let me know. You can always email me, vanishinggates@gmail.com. Now, we're also, again, up on Podbean, Stitcher, iTunes, and I think we're on iHeartRadio, but I know we're on Google Plus as well. So download, give us likes, and share with your friends. We also have a promotion going on. When we hit 500 followers for the show page, the Vanishing Gates page on Facebook, Paco is going to be buying t-shirts. He's going to be giving some out. So what we need to do is have you guys like the show, follow the show page, share, subscribe. I know most of you guys follow it, but you got to like it too, because that's where we get going. And the more you share it, your name gets in the drawing when you share it. So we'll have a post up directly with the shirt image we decide on. Share that. It'll have a link to the page, and then you will be automatically entered to have a free shirt. Now, I was out of town this week, Monday in Yuba. As you guys know, went to Yuba City. Stayed in Chico. Whilst in Chico, and, this is way after the deer incident, guys. The deer is dead. I was in Chico by this time. So I was bored, so I'm checking out Craigslist looking for things to do because I don't know what else to do with my spare time when I'm drinking and sitting in a hotel doing nothing. And I came across an ad for a ghost hunter for hire. And so that is our guest for the evening. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce you guys to our ghost hunter for hire, Jonah Platt. And I hope I said that's your last name and not just part of your tag.
Hey, no, that's my last name. That's me.
Awesome. And you're up on the screen. So, this fine young man actually went to college in my neck of the woods, which is very exciting, man. That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I love it out there, too. It's probably a pretty good paranormal sort of area to be in, is that general area.
Are you familiar with the Patterson-Gimlin footage, that famous Bigfoot film? The footage of the walking Sasquatch that everyone sees all over TV?
I haven't seen it yet. I've been curious, and I haven't seen that yet.
No, well, the footage is the most famous Bigfoot footage ever. It was actually filmed not far from where you went to college. I've actually been there, so that's Humboldt County for you. But that's awesome. That's an aside. So, tell us a bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I grew up here in Chico, and I ended up going to school at Humboldt State, and I graduated in 2017, and since then I moved back. When I was in Humboldt, that was really when I started to, there's kind of the spiritual term of awakening. That's really when I started to find myself and ask bigger questions of, who am I? What's going on here? What's going on here? What is this? What is reality? What's actually going on here? And so, I've answered some of those questions or have more clarity within myself, as well as I have more questions unanswered. Um, and I'm just curious to explore and to experience different things. And I have had some experiences, but I'm looking for more. And so that's why I put up that ad. And I'm, thankful for you reaching out and asking me to be on this show.
Well, absolutely. I mean, we all, I think, as humans, have a deep-seated need to know kind of what happens after we eventually leave this husk, this shell. You might even be interested to know there's a ghost hunter from New Zealand actually watching the show currently. He's in chat. And he's been a guest. And so it's cool because everyone seems to have this desire to know more than just what's in front of us. And with the social media thing especially, it's been very difficult to do that. Even though I use social media as a sort of like propelling point to get more answers, it still does seem to distract from the technical age here and there. But man, I don't know. Like, what do you hope to find? Like, is there a question you have in particular, or is it just, what happens?
Yeah, that's a great question, and sometimes I need people to ask me great questions. So, I'm really interested in some crazy stuff. I'm interested in just having different experiences, having realizations about what exactly reality is, and having more clarity about it. And honestly, one of the big things is I want to have more of an experience like visually, and so maybe I can't see things visually, or maybe as I become more spiritual and more attuned, I'll be able to see things more clearly with my eyes. And it's also a question that I have, because there's you can watch movies, you can watch shows, you can watch different things, and you can see what they portray ghosts and the paranormal is on there, and then there's really the question of what's actually going on. And some people will have experiences different things, but then they're also looking through their own filter, so that means that maybe they saw it a certain way. And so I just have lots of questions about all of that, and I'm really seeking experiences to have more clarity about it for myself.
Yeah, no, that's well said. I mean, that's what I think that's what compels most people. So, as a young man, did you ever have an experience like when you were younger, a kid? Was there anything that you could say was a paranormal thing? Do you think that maybe you have a? I don't want to use the term medium so much, but you know what I'm talking about. Do you think you're like pretty? I don't know, more open to the spiritual realm naturally, like some people feel they are?
Oh, naturally. Well, like to be totally clear, I see myself as an old soul type situation type thing, and that's also
Okay.
like a term, and that's a way of kind of describing it. It might not be exactly what's going on, but basically I do believe that I have a lot of wisdom in me that I currently have in this life that just came along for the ride, or that I was born with, or I don't fully understand. So I do believe that I have something already, but then also when I become a more spiritual person and I do more spiritual work, as well as like right now, it's beginning of November, the weather's been changing, and things start to come out more. And I've definitely had experiences, a few, and really all you need is a few, and then you start looking at everything completely different and start craving information like this.
Excellent, man. That's yeah. Pardon me. That's it. You've been here. You know how it is with the lungs. Oh, good grief. Yeah, my lungs are just full of gunk right now, guys. Sorry. So, can you talk a little bit about those experiences that you've had directly? Like, start with one and then go to the next one.
Yeah. So I prescribe to a school of school of thought or like a group that teaches spiritual practices called Higher Balance Institute. And there's a basic meditation that they do where you focus on 3 of your main chakras and basically just pull in energy into it. I'm also a healer, so I work with energy and stuff. So I had a time back here in Chico when I was just visiting, and I was visiting a friend, and so I was over with a friend, and I was at his place, and it was probably around this time of the year, and I remember having two specific really, really mind-altering experiences at his apartment place. The first one that I remember was I was sitting on his couch, and I did smoke some pot, or it wasn't pot, it was dabs. I don't really do that anymore because it would kind of mess with my mind.
Yeah.
But it actually triggered my third eye to open, which was very, very interesting. And I was just sitting there, and all of a sudden it was like I was hovering above my body, and my third eye was like activated, and I could feel it. But also I remember looking, and I was like above myself. I didn't look down to see myself, but I could, like I was seeing the room from like maybe a foot higher, and I was just like elevated, and it was really interesting. It was just like, whoa. So what was happening before that was I was doing the meditations, I was drinking clean, like filtered water that I got from pretty good water filtering places, and I was consuming turmeric, because turmeric is supposed to be good for your third eye and whatnot, and also the weather was changing and stuff. And I think this time of the year it's more spiritual and stuff. So my third eye opened, and I was like, whoa. Another time when I was there, so my friend, he lived with another person, and that other person, his girlfriend, was there. We're all pretty young. This is a childhood friend, and I was early 20s, I think, like really early 20s, because I'm 23 now, so like 21, maybe 20, something like that. And so they were having experiences with a ghost, with some entity, some paranormal creature thing. They had these different stories of just different things happening, freaking out the dog, and my mind's kind of, I don't remember exactly what happened, flickering lights, just little things, nothing like really intense, nothing like really scary, but like something was there. And so some of them were like working with a Ouija board and trying to talk to it and stuff, and they were having their own things. So I was there, I was hanging out on the couch again. I don't know if I was partaking in anything that time, I don't think so. And so I was just sitting there, and everyone who was there was living, my friend, the other guy and his girlfriend, and the dog, they were all just kind of there. These two other guys come into the house, and they had heard about this ghost. And so they're like joking about it and stuff and making fun and everything, and all of a sudden it like gets a lot cooler, like colder in the air. Like I feel like a cold breeze, coldness in the air. And like I look up, and I can just see in the corner with the ceiling and the wall, the corner there's something there, and it's like it's see-through. It's like if you think of like an invisibility thing, and like you can kind of see that something's there, but you can see what's on the other side of it too. It was really interesting, and I remember just like projecting from myself this feeling of just like respect. Like it's like we acknowledged each other, and that was kind of that. There was a lot of, like I think suppressed anger and stuff in the house, and I have curiosity of like, did the spirit feed off of the suppressed anger of one of the people and this other thing and that and that? And, I don't really know, but I know that I actually experienced an entity, and that was very interesting. And later on, I had to talk to at least one of the guys who came to the house and was like making fun of the ghost, and was like, dude, it was there. You can't just come in and disrespect something like that because it picked up on that. So that was one of the experiences, and I'll let you respond, and then I have like at least one other I can share.
That's awesome, man. So I was gonna say, do you consider yourself an empath? Have you considered that at all?
What would you consider an empath as?
An empath is someone who can pick up energy, either good or negative. Some empaths get empathy, sorry, from spiritual beings that aren't in the flesh or whatnot. Someone who can feel emotions and things like that, and take them in and kind of judge, even if it's not just a human person, but someone who has a judgment ability to kind of get a spiritual understanding of a situation without, when they shouldn't have that, according to natural, explanations. Say, like, you're more adept to knowing when someone is hurting. You can figure out, even though if they have a facade on, you kind of feel their pain. Some empaths absorb pain directly, physically, from people they know. It's a larger thing.
Yeah, 100%. I'm a healer too, so like I can literally see someone and I can see what's going on. I can look at the energy system in someone. I can look at where maybe there's physical illness, physical pain. Like I can pick up on a whole lot on someone, whether I'm actually physically with them or I can even kind of psychically pick up on it when I'm not with them. That also means that I can be susceptible to other people's energies, and so that means that I have to work with certain tools to make sure that I am protected and safe and not picking up on other people's stuff. But I am, highly attuned to that kind of stuff.
So now you want to pick up on the good parts of folks, but not the bad parts, I'm sure.
Man, but honestly, like the bad stuff is really easy to pick up on.
It's super easy.
It's like it's like I don't know if you know about this, but like we hold a lot of stuff in our face, so like in the muscles in our face. So like basically you can kind of look at someone's face and you can kind of look at their history of like where their muscles are tight and stuff. It's like about like fascia in the body that when you experience different things that might be traumatizing or whatever else. I know that's a keyword or buzzword, but so like you experience stuff in your life and maybe it's not all that pleasant. It basically can be stored in your body and it's all stored in the muscles in your face and stuff. And basically what I'm trying to get at is it's like right in front of you. If you're sensitive, it's like it's right there. And there's other stuff you can pick up on someone, but really when you give someone a reading or you're doing healing work on someone or whatever else, like the biggest issues come to the surface immediately, or they're there and they're like being hidden really well, but it's there and it's like, oh, it's only a matter of time before this surfaces.
Okay. So I'm not as familiar with that. Can you explain that a little more for folks like me who don't know what that means as much, like where you're coming from with that?
Yeah. Okay, let's see, I'll try. So, alright, so I'm gonna try to explain this the best I can. I don't know if I'm going to narrow it down to specifically fit your show, but I'm gonna try to describe it in the way that I can do best.
The show's about everything, so go for it.
Perfect. Okay, so, as a human, we have social, emotional, physical, we have all these levels of needs. So some people think just shelter and food and, a few other things and you're okay, but really you need all these different layers to be, like, okay, is the idea, is like to have a healthy mind, healthy body, healthy all these different things. You have all these layers of needs. For example, you need connection with other people, you need to feel supported, you need to feel acceptance. There's different needs that our society doesn't necessarily talk about. So those are like psychic, those are of your mind. And so when your needs aren't met, your body adjusts. You adjust right away. And I say your body because your mental, like psychic, or your like psyche, and your body and your emotional self, like, and energetic or whatever is kind of in there, but they all interconnect and stuff. So for example, if you grow up and you have some trauma when you grow up, and I say trauma, and that can be physically something happening, or what I'm really meaning is like emotionally, socially, your needs aren't all met, you're neglected in some ways or abused, then, and if you don't process it, so what trauma is if you have trauma, it's really, so for example, 9/11 or something, something happens, that's not the trauma. What the trauma is do you process it? And so the thing is, a lot of us have childhood emotional neglect, emotional, like, abuse, things that happen. And so if we never process it, we hold on to it. And that stuff gets stored in the body. And so you can see that in just how physically someone is moving about. You can also see it energetically. And you can also see it in, like, basically how they relate to the world. Because they have certain coping patterns, certain habits, how they are isn't just because all of a sudden they became that way. It's because of the years and years of experiencing that they had. And when they had things that were too intense for them to process at that time, they probably overcorrected. So for example, maybe some really quiet people were told, not to talk, or like, or like, it's just kind of like you overcorrect is kind of a thing that happens. And yeah, so
that's a lot.
that's a lot.
That was a big question to ask on a short order. No, that was well explained, I think. So you're an empath, is what my understanding from this is, from empaths and whatnot. I would guess and venture to say, and I think you would too. I think there's varying kinds of empaths. It's not that you're a mind reader or anything like that. You pick up on spiritual, maybe physical things that you can see and touch if you're, trying to heal someone. So do you do Reiki? Is that a thing that's part of, or is that separate? So Reiki's part of that? Because I don't know anything about Reiki.
So Reiki is a Japanese healing art that...
Okay, I retract. I know a couple things about Reiki. Those two things.
So it's a certain line of energy healing, but really there's lots of different ways to go about it. The idea is that there's energy that moves through our bodies. Our body basically runs on electricity. When we hold on to things like grief and emotional pain and other things, then the body reacts in other ways. So there's plenty of experiences where I've had or I've seen in other people where there's emotional pain and it leads to physical pain. And the idea is that a good Reiki practitioner or energy healer can clear out those inner blockages and allow you to be healthy and well and whole. Or someone can work on their own practice. I think some people do that maybe through yoga and meditations and other things. Yeah.
Okay. So, have you ever been on a ghost hunt, like, investigation wise? Like, what? Okay, actually, let's reel it back a little more. Did you see a lot of these ghost hunting shows when you were younger on television?
Yeah, I saw some. That's where I picked up on the idea of when the room gets cooler, there's a spirit or something. So yeah, I watched some shows. I wasn't like a junkie on it, but I watched some.
Well, some people get like really hung up on them. I think overall the goal is to make the investigation more mainstream, so it doesn't become such a frowned upon thing. Because, I mean, even Charles Fort went through a lot of stuff just writing his books. So maybe there's catharsis in this. I don't know, man. But did you have a favorite ghost hunting show when you were younger? No, just watch the ones that were on.
and I mean, really, I didn't start to get really into the spiritual, paranormal world, or like getting to know it more firsthand until like within 5 years ago.
When you were up here doing your schooling.
Yeah, I was able to get away from my hometown and stuff, and I was able to sort of take on a new persona.
Hey man, I don't dislike Chico, but I understand wanting to get away from your hometown because I'm still here. So if you're gonna go to an investigation, have you thought it through? Have you considered like looking at teams, ghost hunting teams, or are you just trying to do this with energy and just trying to use your empathy, or whatever you want to call it, to investigate that way? What are you hoping to find? Are you wanting to capture evidence? Are you going to be recording things? Have you done any? Would be a better question to start with.
So for teams, I've thought some about that, and that's like really significant paranormal situations. Would I be going in on a team?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where my spiritual practice, my training and stuff would really take flight, is by going on teams with more advanced psychics and spiritual people. So yeah, I've thought about how I would go about these different things. How I would go about going into hauntings or whatever else. Yeah, I have an idea about it. Since I put up the ad, I got like one person who was like, I don't know, he made some joke about it. And then I had another person who told me about a place that you'd have to hike out to for like a 3-day hike or something. And then he stopped responding to me. And then I had you. So, and I wasn't necessarily knowing what I was going to get out of putting up that ad. I was just like, hey, I would totally do this. Tell me where to go, invite me, pay me, don't pay me, whatever. Like, I am curious about what I might find.
Well, that's awesome, man. Like, I saw the ad, I'm like, that's cool. I gotta talk to this guy because I'm bored in Chico for a night and have to get in touch with this guy. One thing I'll tell you, and I would say this, I can refer you to a lot of ghost hunters that are really cool dudes, and paranormal investigators that are really cool folks, for sure. And you can glean from them the best they can give you, but you got to find what works for you. One thing is, don't ever go into an investigation or a haunting considering the fact of making money unless you have like a Patreon thing or people supporting you. If people are trying to pay you to go in, it's a red flag, just from my experience and from the experience of many other ghost hunters. So just do it for fun, do it for kicks, but also do research. Some of the investigations I've done were more, and I don't do a lot. I'm not a ghost hunter per se. I always try to look at the psychological problems first, or the engineering problems first. So I meet the person, I interview them, talk to them, try to get a grasp whether or not I should refer them to someone that can help them outside of my scope of practice, or then I go in if they seem like they're totally normal folks, which is, first of all, none of us are normal, but you can tell when someone's sincere, when someone's genuine and sincere, and they're not like biting their own ears or trying to. I'll go in and I'll check their house out. If the house is chaotic and messy and cluttered like mine all the time, because I don't have time to do anything, and or I can see the house is older and the electrical's bad. The electricity can cause a lot of problems for for human brains. We're electrical beings. Like, when I was a kid, I had epilepsy, so my brain fires a different way than some people. Um, Electricity affects me different than it does some people. I kill watches a lot. I have a hard time when it's a touch screen thing. I have a hard time making it work the right way. Things like that, small things like that. I get static electricity faster than some people. But electricity doesn't hurt me as much physically. Whereas a sunburn, because I'm a redhead, will make me feel like I'm dying. There's a lot going into this. So I can refer you definitely to a lot of folks. In fact, the George guy that was watching the show, he's a great guy, and he actually has a whole Facebook group for folks doing investigations. And I will gladly put you in his direction too, and not to get you in there and to just do what he says, but to give you a little more background on maybe getting in there and trying to get in a way. I mean, you're going to have, if you're approaching this from a spiritual way and from your spiritual way plus how you think, like, you're going to have your own niche. You're going to do it a certain way. You're going to know where and when to investigate by trial and error, but also by making just judgment decisions to do it, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, like, are you saying that I would build up an understanding of my niche and how I even go about doing the work?
Yeah, absolutely. Like, when I train people for anything, I've studied martial arts for a long time, and I know there's no right way to do it. There's no better way to do it, because each individual has to learn how their body works and functions. I can give you the best of my examples, and someone else can give you the best of their examples. But it's up to you to put those things together and figure out what works best for you, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a simpler way to say it. But, yeah, man, so is there any places in your area that you've thought about checking out? Like, is there large places that are... I don't know Chico's history that well. Like, I've been there a few times. I lived in Stockton for a spit, and in Lodi. I don't know a ton about Chico, though. I've been to Paradise a few times, which is right up Skyway. But I don't know much. Is there historical haunts there you might want to check out? That's a good way to start.
I'm not very sure. I'm not very sure. There's kind of a clash in my mind between the Chico that I knew when I grew up and the new one that I'm discovering. So I know that I've had some experiences here. I know this time of year brings on more experiences. I'm curious historically what's been going on, and part of it is just kind of scanning and me feeling things out. That I can sometimes find things through just plopping on my lap or by actually going out and trying to find it.
So you've been doing personal investigations, though, by going out and finding places and searching out the energy?
I just kind of can notice when something is off or different or maybe paranormal. Like, I can sense that. And I just remembered another time where, like, I went to a specific gathering with other people and there was fire and it was kind of a celebration type thing. And I remember just hanging out there for a while and actually meditating for a while. And I remember basically a spirit coming and, like, moving through me real quickly. And
wow.
So, like, I'm building up experiences, and it really helps solidify that there is other worlds on top of this world.
That's awesome. So can you explain that? How it felt? What it was like?
Yeah, so I was a firekeeper at a ceremonial party-ish place. And so I was just there, and I was just loving feeding the fire and stuff. I ended up being the last person sitting out there, sitting with the fire as it was going out. and I just decided to just take the time to meditate, and I was just sitting there, and I remember feeling in my chest, feeling something or someone like off to the side, and I just kind of acknowledged it. And once again, like I said with the other experience in my friend's apartment, it's like my energy and their energy is like touching, or like we're experiencing each other through that. I said we experienced respect, and I meant that as in like it was a feeling that we, I think, both had. So this time I just kind of acknowledged that something was there, and I remembered fear coming up inside of me. But because of these practices that I'm doing, like I basically, the fear like left my body and it was on the surrounding part of me, and the inner part of me was clear, and it ended up coming and like passing through me for a moment, and it was just interesting. It was just felt like some other energy moving through me. We like, I don't know, it's like we acknowledge each other, and I was like open to it. It's not like I thought before, okay, I'm gonna let this spirit move through me, but it just kind of happened real quick. And I mentioned earlier higher balance, and they do teachings on what's actually going on with all this and stuff. And something that I've heard from the main teacher is that in those situations, it's basically a spirit's just kind of like, how you introduce yourself to someone. It's like getting a read on you, and that's a way that it does it. And that's it's a spiritual thing. It's also like a psychic, paranormal thing, and I think that they're both very interrelated. It's hard to describe exactly what it was, but it just passed through me for a moment. It wasn't trying to cause me any harm. I think it was curious about who and what I was, and I was curious about it too.
That's okay. So like, you're pardon me, 1 second. Coughs again. Good grief. So your foundation of you're solid in your spiritual status. You're calm, collected, having a good time stoking the fire, relaxing, just enjoying the spirituality of it. And you are intersected by an oncoming spirit that just kind of, it's like nudging up against a hot chick at a bar who makes eye contact as she walks back into the crowd, but more spiritual.
Wait, what was your last reference? What did you say?
So it was like making eye contact with a hot chick at a bar who nudges into you and makes eye contact until she leaves the crowd at the bar. It's very exciting, very cool, very respectful, but also very different. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
That captures it.
Okay. Good.
Maybe that girl in this situation would want me to follow her, but in this situation, the spirit was pretty much out of there after passing through me for a moment.
Oh yeah, no. Once that chick turns her head the other way fast, it's over. It was cute while it happened. There was a mutual respect, and then I'm out. I have something to do. I gotta go to Arby's or whatever. Yeah. The spiritual world is not that different from the normal world. It feels like. I don't know about how you feel about it, but I mean, what do you think about ghosts in general? Is a crazy question. Do you feel like this? What kind of? That's a weird question to ask. I know.
No, that's okay.
Let me break it down in a more comprehensive way. So, how many kinds of spirits do you think there are? Because a lot of people believe that human ghosts wander around and meander. Then they think there are angels and demons, and there's other things and other things and other things. How would you break that down? Would it be energy? Would it be various tags of beings that are spiritual?
Okay, so I think that lots of ghosts are sort of like glitches in the Matrix. I think that some patterns are just repeated, or some points in time, like there's like overlapping in realities. So what I mean by all this is like, um, with ghosts specifically, sometimes I think like they don't have acceptance that their time's done or that they need to leave or something, and they just like are stuck. And so that's part of like why I would be like a ghost hunter as a hat that I would wear, is because some ghosts are like stuck and they want to be able to leave, so I can help with that.
Okay.
Then there's like the glitches that I talked about where, like there's, you might go to an old like abandoned town or something and you can hear sounds that happened like a long time ago, or like, decades into decades, well, when there are people around. And like I think that's kind of like a glitch, and I think sometimes you can hear people and like there's sound stored in, I don't know, the walls of places or whatever else, or like, so there's some of that stuff. Then I think that there's a lot that we don't know in terms of like entities and other forms of the paranormal.
Mm-hmm.
I think that sometimes our worlds kind of overlap in some places on the earth, maybe, or different times of the year. That there's some overlap that happens, and yeah, I'm still curious to understand that more. I don't think that there's a ton of like negative entities out there, but I think they all are out there, as well as I think that there's some that just like, I think there's plenty that are just like trying to mind their own business or trying to do their own things, and it's kind of a weird thing to interact with some of us who are hunting them or trying to interact with them.
So, as most people, I have seen quite a lot of shadow folks, or shadow people. Have you ever had a shadow person encounter? And what do you think about that?
Okay, so you've actually seen a shadow people, like
Multiple.
they're in front of you. It's not just like out of
No,
sight.
lots. Not just a glancing. Lots of times. It's not an uncommon phenomenon for me to have seen. And I've seen it with other people at the same time. So it's not like it's a... Okay, so most people don't hallucinate in unison, though it does happen. Especially when people hang out a lot in groups. But I've seen them with at the same time as other people that shouldn't have been able, because folks that I wasn't that connected with or whatever, we didn't have a lot in common. Seen the same thing. So yeah, I've seen them all the time. Never been a problem for me. I'm not scared of them. But there's always that kind of hair on the back of your neck when you see one. It's usually out of the corner of your eye. But, I mean, seen them dead on. See, I have really good night vision. I'm colorblind for some reason. Camo doesn't work great when I'm playing paintball. So don't worry about that. I'm still going to hit you with a paintball. Things like that. Makes me a good shot, good hunter. And I have really good night vision. I get blinded quick by light, though. But I have seen shadow figures, shadow people, whatever you call it. I have never seen the Hat Man that people talk about. I don't know about that, but shadow figures aplenty. Have you had any encounter or experience with those? And what are your thoughts, even if you haven't?
So I haven't had any encounters. Nothing that was dead on. Sometimes I see things in the shadows or catch things at the side of my eyes, and I don't think that that's necessarily shadow people. Those shadows that I see, or so with shadow people though, like I believe that they exist, and I'm in this conversation multiple times. I'm kind of like pulling out of the full bucket of teachings that I have with this group, but something that I've heard is that the question of like, well, what are they doing? They're observing, right? They're observing other people, or they're doing that, and they're showing very little of maybe their true form. It's almost like if you need to go and observe something, and if you need to be in disguise, then you need to put on this so no one can identify you. And then that goes into the question of like time travel and different things like that. Of like, if you're a time traveler, then you need to be really careful how you might affect the world around you. And that's like, if someone sees you, if someone gets your new technology, like there's all these different things. But basically, how can they observe someone without giving them any information other than that they're being observed?
There's a lot of ideas with that, like the colliding universe theory, like when realities are banging together and getting intertwined. That's like the whole Mandela effect thing too. So who knows? I mean, interdimensional beings, things like that. There's a lot of people that believe Sasquatch are interdimensional, or aliens, the visitors, are interdimensional beings. I mean, that makes more mathematical sense than an actual gray alien coming down. But who knows? That's why we do this show. We don't know, you know. So, I mean, I have seen shadow figures for sure, multiple times, dead on sometimes. I've never seen anything. Like, I've had people tell me swear up and down my house is haunted. I have never had an occurrence in my house that I could not explain, with a floorboard being stepped on a certain way, or traffic moving out in front of the house, or bad wiring, or a faulty light bulb. So it's really hard for me because I'm very analytical about these things. I want answers, but if it's real, I want to know it's real. If it's not real, I want to be able to disprove it. That's my way of thinking about it. I'm sure you're probably the same way, but you are a little different because you are more spiritually oriented. Probably you probably have a better grasp of the spiritual surroundings. So, you know, it's going to be different for everybody. Have you ever had a place? Another question I like to ask people. Have you ever had a place you couldn't walk into? Like something prohibited you in your mind or soul or whatever that stopped you from walking and broaching the threshold of a place?
No, not exactly. I mean, it's always been my choice about whether or not I walk into places or not, and I'm very intuitive about where I'm walking or where I'm walking into. But sometimes I like sense like, okay, I'm not gonna walk down that street right now, or I'm gonna go this way because this feels right. So only me being intuitive and like saying like, okay, I'm not gonna go through those doors, or I'm not gonna go down that street.
So it's you trusting your spiritual self because you know you've connected. You sound like a very solid person in your spiritual self, and that's why I ask. That's awesome. Like I had another question too I was going to ask you. I can't remember what it was now. So, I think this reels back to one of the first questions I asked you, one of the earlier questions I asked you about what kind of do you hope to get from doing ghost hunting. And I think the answer, and correct me if I'm wrong, isn't just a personal thing. It's not just for you. It's not a selfish thing. I think that what I'm gleaning from this is that your goal is to go into a situation, if you find a haunting, to help that spirit or that energy, either the spirit move on or that energy dissipate.
Yeah, I mean, I think even with human connection, like, I really want everyone to get along, basically, or like for there to be clarity of like, this is what respect means to me, or this is what love means to me, or like, so like I think that there's a lot of misunderstandings, and so yeah, I basically, and same as like a healer, like basically like I really desire to resolve situations and negative experiences, or like, you know, if a spirit's like feels trapped and is in like a looping dream type of thing, or like stuck, then yeah, definitely I want to help it out. Then there's also the my strong desire to understand reality better, or the bendingness of reality, or like what's real, what's not. But yeah, and then also, like, if I have a better understanding of what's going on, then I can talk with people like you or others who are craving that information. And yeah, so like I'm hoping to better understand through my own experiences what's going on, and have more clarity about my beliefs around this kind of stuff.
That's phenomenal, man. That's kind of like sorry. It's a very good way to look at it, as far as I can tell. I don't have all the answers for everything, but
I was hoping you would.
yeah. Well, good luck somewhere. I am not the ginger-bearded sage of the universe. I have some answers. I can answer some things, not all the things, never all the things. But what I do want to say is, thank you so much for being on the show, man. Like, this has been a really great conversation.
Yeah. Well, I'm really glad you reached out, and that this has been happening and has happened.
Yeah, I'm excited to see you move on more with this, and I would love to promote it more. So, can you tell folks who are watching and or listening how they can find you if they need your assistance, or if they would like your assistance?
Yeah, so easiest way is to email me, and my email is energymedicinechico@gmail.com. Yeah, and you gave my name, which is Jonah Platt.
Mm-hmm.
Folks can find me if you type in Jonah Platt Reiki, or energy healing, or you can find me if you try. You can know that I'm here in Chico. Email, like I said, is probably the easiest way. Yeah, I can help people out however they want to be helped out, or if you just want to connect, you can also reach out for that.
That's awesome. Do you have like a social media stuff, like a Twitter or anything like that people can follow you on?
No, not yet. I have a Facebook where it's just my name, Jonah Platt, and I'm getting moving as an energy healer, offering my services here in Chico, as well as distance healing on healingclouds.com. And yeah, so I don't have anything else yet. When I find someone who will make me an online website, I'll probably get more of this stuff up there, though.
Hey, there's a bunch of website places out there. I'll send you a couple links when I can to make a website.
Cool.
Also, though, I'm going to try to refer you to some of my ghost hunting buddies. That way you can either get some info from them on how to approach. Okay, so talking to someone about investigating is different than having someone approach you. And there's a big up and down about things. There's a whole cavalcade of drama that comes with ghost hunting, I found out in the last couple of years. So, just so you know.
Okay.
But you're not just ghost hunting. You're trying to ghost heal, I think. It's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, lots of healing the spaces, healing the ghosts, letting them move on, healing the situations, healing people. Yeah, I'm a healer.
Bringing that energy into the right, where it should be, and that's way different than what most people think when they see Ghost Hunter, by the way. So, and that's not a bad thing at all, by the way. But just keep that in mind that maybe push the healing aspect as well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, all right, Jonah, it's been an honor to have you on the show. I'm very blessed to have you. I feel very blessed. I hope you send some good energy my way. I'm getting old.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for offering your resources to me, and I'm glad we could talk.
Absolutely, man. And I'd love to have you on again. Let's stay in touch. If next time I'm in Chico, I'm gonna hit you up if you're cool with that.
All right. Yeah. Do that.
All right, dude. I will talk to you soon, but I'm getting ready for bed, so I'm gonna end this call, end the show. I'm gonna go lay down.
All right. Sleep tight.
All right, brother. I'll see you.
All right.
Later. Guys, that has been Jonah Platt, Reiki healer, ghost hunter, energy guru, if you would. I don't know if he'd say that himself, but a very nice guy. Thank you for watching the show. It's been another wonderful episode of Vanishing Gates. Wonderful episode. Your host is very tired. Your host being Jay, right here. Again, so Saturday we'll have a show. Jack will be on with me. Paco might be on via Skype. Not sure. I haven't even turned this off yet. There we go. Yeah, Saturday show for sure. I think 7 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And yeah, if you guys have stories, make sure you email them to vanishinggates@gmail.com. If you have guests you'd like to see me interview, or anybody interview, maybe Jack could interview him if you bribe him enough. vanishinggates@gmail.com. I'll be out of town again in Chico next week for a minute. If you guys are in Chico in the Central Valley area, hit me up. We could even hang out. You guys could do a show with me. I don't know. Whatever. Alright, guys. I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. Don't forget to like, follow, share, subscribe. Check out the iTunes, Stitcher, Google+, Podbean. And I think we're on iHeartRadio. If you guys could check it out, let me know if I am or not. That'd be great. Alright, guys. This is Jay. I'll talk to you later. Have a great night. Get some sleep. I need some. A lot.